Okay, today's question: what is the best real estate investment? Well, it depends. I think that many times people will find that they have an affinity towards multifamily investments, or they have an affinity towards buying and fixing up a house. And the challenge is that sometimes they don't have the experience, they don't have the money, and maybe not even having the time. And all of those things are critical components to making a decision on what kind of investment is best. If you are a surgeon and you work 90 hours a week, it's unlikely that you're going to want to sit down and rehab 5 houses a year. You just don't have the time. Now, you may have the capital, you might even have the experience, but you might not probably have the time to do that, to oversee the crews, to oversee the project, to make sure that what you've invested in is going to get turned around in the right amount of time so that you're profitable, under budget, and with the right people. So managing all of that is time intensive. Now, you might be able to do one a year, and that might be perfect for where you are. However, what is the best real estate investment also depends on, do you have experience in that particular sector? Do you have the experience buying 100 or 200 unit apartment building and renovating all of those units and putting in a new parking lot that costs $200,000, or new boiler systems, or new roofs on 25 buildings? You know, you have to take all of those things into consideration. What if you don't have the time or the money or the experience? How do you actually progress through those next steps? Well, obviously, there's somebody that has both the time, they have the money, and they have the experience. Maybe it's 3 individual people. How do you partner with each of those types of people? And that's really one of the main questions you're going to have to ask yourself over and over. Whether you're a beginning investor and you've never even put a house under contract, or whether or not you are a real estate investor extraordinaire who has so much history buying and fixing up houses, flipping houses, but yet you want to expand. You want to buy mobile home parks. Maybe you want to buy apartment buildings. Maybe you want to develop a tower downtown Dallas. I don't know. But you're going to have to find people and partner with them that they've already done this, that it's really second nature to them. Maybe you want to develop a mobile home park in Dallas and you've never done that, but you've done 100 apartments in North Dakota. I don't know what your situation is. You're going to have to partner with somebody. Maybe you've got the capital, maybe you've got the time. You're going to have to find somebody that's done this in that area so that you understand what the customs are, what the laws are, what the city ordinances are, who the city council members are. Because if you're going to build something large, you're going to have to talk to a lot of people, and you're going to have to get something passed. Conversely, if you've never done anything even in real estate, and this is your first project, you're going to have to figure out who to put the house under contract, at the escrow company. For instance, you're going to have to find an escrow company, and you're going to have to say, hey, I put a house under contract. Will you even allow me to put the escrow with you? That's a process, and you've got to take these steps. You've got to do that, and you've got to find out, do I have the time? Do I have the experience? Do I have the money? Those are critical questions that you need to ask whenever you're trying to decide what real estate investment is right. It's right for me, may not be right for you. I've been doing this for a long time. You may have been doing it twice as long. So you may not want to deal with mobile home parks. You may only want to park your money in an office building that earns a 7% return a year. You may have $30 million liquid you need to deploy, and you're going to find 30 different properties where you're going to invest $1 million. Maybe you don't have any capital. Maybe you have plenty of time. Maybe you're 22 years old, just starting out after college, and you're like, real estate is where I want to do it, but you're not really sure how to get started. Personally, I think wholesaling is a great entry. You find a seller. Personally, I think wholesaling is a fantastic way to start. And you find a seller, you put the property under contract, you take it to escrow, and then you go find a buyer for the contract that's going to enter into that same contract, and you tack on a fee to get your cash out of it. You don't have to close on anything. You don't have to worry about fixing and flipping. You're just trying to generate some income. I think it's a fantastic way. If you're more experienced, you've done 10 or 15 of those, maybe you want to partner with somebody who's actually fixed up a house. If you've done 25 houses, you fix those up, maybe you want to take some of that time and experience and invest it into a longer term cash flow project. And that is, you want to buy an apartment building, or you want to buy a self-storage building complex. And so you should partner with somebody, whether they are a lead partner or whether they're just a mentor, somehow somebody that can guide you through the process. So you have to ask a bunch of these questions. Do I have the time? Do I have the experience? Do I have the money? All of those are critical components to determining the first question, which is, what's the best real estate investment for me?